What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another New Comic Book Day Top 10 list. Today I'm going to be going over all my pickups for New Comic Book Day, April 27th, 2022. What a week of books! We had a lot of big-name titles come out this week. I picked up a total of 14 issues, so you know what that means. 4 of them did not make this week's Top 10 list. Technically 3, because I'm not going to be talking about one of them, but let's jump right into it. Alright everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic day today and you were able to pick up all of your New Comic Book Day books on time. Super quick, I got a couple things before I get started off on the 4 books that did not make this week's Top 10 list. I want to give a huge shout out to this channel sponsor, Whatnot. It is hands down the best buying and selling app platform on the market right now. They've literally got everything. They've got Pokemon cards, sports cards, Pop Funko, Yu-Gi-Oh, comic books, you name it, they've got it. If you have any questions at all, whether it's buying or selling, please reach out to me and I'm going to do my best to answer those questions for you. My links are down low in the description. You can catch me at LV_comics. Now, this one I am so excited about. I've talked about it a little bit here and there over the past few weeks, but nothing was official, nothing was confirmed, and it was nothing I could really talk about, but I can finally talk about it. I've got my own exclusive cover through AWA Upshot. We've got Devil's Highway, Volume 2, Issue number 1. Illuminati on Instagram. His name is Javon Jordan. He did this cover. He did an absolutely incredible job on it. I love how it came out. I'm so happy for him. I'm happy for just getting a cover myself. This is something I've always wanted, and for it to actually be here in my hands for one of my favorite comic book publishers and one of my favorite series from AWA, I don't know. It's hard to put it into words for how happy I actually am about this. But if you are interested in this cover, I have trade dress. I also have virgin variants of it as well. It's going to be only sold on Whatnot. Let me know if you have any questions about it. But now, moving on to the 4 issues that did not make this week's Top 10 list. This first one I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with. I actually didn't read it. I need to read the first 4 issues, and at this point, I'm sure you know what it is. But it finally came out. It finally happened. I didn't think it was ever going to hit the shelves. But we've got TMNT's The Last Ronin, issue number 5. This is cover A. I did flip through it, but I knew if I read it without rereading the first 4 issues, I just would have been lost. I really don't remember what's going on in it. And honestly, it took so long to come out. I lost a lot of interest in it. It is what it is. I'm a big Turtles fan, so obviously I am looking forward to reading it, but I just need to reread the first 4, and if you did read it, let me know what you thought about it down low. The next one that didn't make this week's Top 10 list is Image's brand new series. We've got Bloodstained Teeth, issue number 1. This is cover A. I was very excited for it. I was looking forward to it, but I don't know. The first issue really didn't land with me. It's not that the story was bad at all. It was about vampires, so I thought that was kind of cool. But I think my massive turnoff with it was the just artwork in general. It was just very all over the place. The colors were really popping out at me, and I don't know, it felt very distracting from the story itself. I'm probably going to give it another issue, maybe 2 at most. But as of now, this first issue, I don't know, it really didn't do it for me. The next one that didn't make this week's Top 10 list, we've got Boom Studios, Berserker, issue number 8. This is cover A. What can I say about this series that I haven't already said before? It's just really not that good in my opinion. The artwork is okay. The story, it started off strong and I was very intrigued with it, but it feels as though every single issue is kind of the same exact thing. This is one of the only issues that did feel a lot different than some of the other ones, but at the same time, not a lot of stuff happened in it as well. We wait so long in between these issues and just nothing happens in them. My opinion, this is hands down better read in a hardcover trade paperback format. And when it does come out in that form, I probably will reread it. But as of now, just not a very good series in my opinion. And now for the final one that did not make this week's Top 10 list. It pains me to put it here because I was so excited for it. But we've got Marvel's brand new series, The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 1. This is cover A. The covers are all fantastic. I think it had a $5.99 price tag on it. The cover itself, Marvel tried doing some weird knockoff-y cardstock cover for it. Still felt extremely cheap, but it did feel better than the usual cheap stuff that they've been using. Now, with this first issue, I really didn't like the artwork at all. I didn't think it was very well done. And as far as the story goes, for kind of an oversized first issue, it didn't really set anything up in my opinion. It was just kind of catching us up on Peter Parker. And it feels as though it's a brand new story, but they still reference some stuff that happened in the past as well. I don't know what's going on with Spidey. Everything has been all over the place. I don't know what's going on with just Spencer's run, the Beyond Corporation, where they're going with it now. I don't know if I'm even going to give this one a second or third try. I mean, I probably will because I love Spider-Man, and I'm just hoping for the best at this point. I feel like us Spidey fans have just been constantly let down over the past couple years, but I don't know. I need to hear your opinions on this one down low. Maybe I'm just biased. Maybe I'm just having all of these high expectations when in reality, I just probably shouldn't. But now let's talk about the real top 10 list. All right, everyone, so to kick this top 10 list off first, we've got coming in at number 10. This is Marvel's The Punisher, issue number 2. This is cover A. Now, I was really hyped for that first issue. I thought it was fantastic. I don't remember where it landed on my top 10 list, but I was really looking forward to this one. And after reading it, to be quite honest, it probably shouldn't have even made the top 10 list, but those other issues just really weren't all that good. And one of them had to crack the top 10 list, and it happened to be this one. So it kind of picks up where the last one left off, and just, I don't know. We got left on a cliffhanger on the first issue. We got a little bit of where that's going in this issue, but we don't have a lot of info on that at all. This issue really consisted of the Punisher just doing a lot of training, and this entire just clan looking at him like, hey, you are the chosen one, you are the leader, you are the one that was born to just be in this position. And now the Punisher just kind of has some powers as well. They were dealing with some demon god. I don't really think I like the direction that this one's going to be going. I really like Jason Aaron as a writer, but I don't know. As far as a Punisher story goes, I wasn't really hoping it was going to be this type of a direction. I'm not saying I wanted the exact same thing that we've had over the last couple of years of the Punisher, but something, I don't know, I guess kind of similar to that story as well. This one just feels so non-Punisher right now. I'm going to give it a couple more issues, but as of now, it's an alright series. I want to hear your opinions on this one down low, but we've got coming in at number 10 this week, The Punisher, issue number 2. And next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 9. This is Marvel's Thor, issue number 24. This is the big 750th issue. This is cover A, and it had a nice hefty $8.99 price tag on it. I thought it was an alright issue. At this point, I really don't know what to expect from the series. You guys already know, I'm not a big fan of it, let alone a fan at all. I love that first arc. I truly thought it was fantastic. And I think I've just been riding off wanting to know what happened at the end of that first arc this entire time. Everything in between kind of leading up to now has just been a blur. Even about 2 or 3 issues ago, I really don't even remember what happened. This one picks up where the last one left off, however. If you can recall, Odin did die, kind of. We're going to be getting into that a little bit too. But this entire issue was just kind of his funeral. So it was a massive oversized issue. Thor is telling stories about Odin, just everything that he's done in the past. We got a lot of big time writers coming on telling some stories. I did like those stories. Overall, I thought they were good, but just the main Thor storyline itself, I don't know, I think it's all right. I kind of like where they left it off as well, but still, it's just one of those Donny Cates' cliffhangers. So this is definitely going to be the spoiler. So after we got all the stories of Odin out of the way, he went to his room or whatever it was, and he's basically yelling at Mjolnir, Odin saying, why won't you leave me alone? All that stuff. Odin gets into it a little bit, and then this is the massive spoiler. He basically says, I made it to Valhalla, but nobody was there. There's just nothing in Valhalla anymore. And see, that's the cliffhanger that Donny Cates always grabs all the readers on. Something massive like that. And it's like, now I'm hooked back onto it. Where'd everybody go? So I'm going to continue on with it, especially because I'm still thinking about that first arc all that much. But outside of that, absolutely just a subpar series, in my opinion, though. I know there's still a lot of people that really love it, but for those reasons, we've got Thor, issue number 24, coming in at number 9. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 8. This is Image's Hellcop, issue number 6. This is cover A. This is also the start of a brand new arc. Honestly, I thought they did an alright job with this first issue. I really liked the first arc. I thought it was fantastic. Just from the start to the end, I thought they did a really good job developing the plot and the characters, and then it wrapped up very nicely. This one, we already know who the characters are. A little bit of time has passed. Our main character, he is now the captain of just all the Hellcops. And things have calmed down just a little bit. They even gave a nice little recap in the very beginning to remind us what really went on, but it hasn't been that much time in between the issues. So as far as this first issue goes, they're back on Earth and just one of the monsters escaped. We got a couple rednecks and they killed that monster. That's when the issue itself starts to pick up a little bit, but honestly, not a lot of stuff happened outside of that. There's a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue, just the characters kind of catching up with each other. Overall, really not that bad of an issue. I'm 100% continuing on with this one, especially after that first arc. I definitely have faith in this series. Check it out if you haven't already started. I'm sure there's going to be a trade paperback out at some point for it, but for those reasons, we've got Hellcop issue number 6 coming in at number 8. And next up this week, we've got coming in at number 7. This is Marvel's Carnage, issue number 2. This is cover A. So I thought the first issue was just very okay, but I was kind of intrigued by the story to see where they were going to go with it. I mean, we've got Carnage, this weird pupil serial killer that he's taken on as his just subject, and he's following along. This guy's trying to be the next Carnage host. But then the other side of things is you got this detective who's trying to find this serial killer. But now all of a sudden we've got the symbiote Carnage into the story. So this guy's trying to find both of them. He's saying, you know, if we find the serial killer, we're also going to find Carnage as well. That to me is the best part of the story, and that's what has me hooked the most. However, this one kind of introduced a different kind of weird plot twist aspect to it that I'm not fully invested in just yet. We've got our detective, basically finds him at the very beginning, and that's what gets him hooked on this idea, like, if we find the serial killer, we're going to find this symbiote as well. But Carnage left a little bit of himself behind attached to this detective too. So you kind of see the detective potentially going bad or having these bad negative thoughts. I like that. But I almost wish they would have just kept it as two separate entities where this detective wants to find both of them and the serial killer is trying to just prove himself worthy of Carnage, so maybe he goes out and kills more people. Maybe that's going to be the direction. As of now, only 2 issues deep. I'm definitely going to be continuing on with it. Really not that bad of a read, but just not fully hooked on it just yet. But for those reasons, we've got Carnage issue number 2 coming in at number 7. Next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 6. This is Marvel's Alien issue number 11. This is cover A. Now, I've been very honest with you guys in the past. I am extremely biased towards just Alien, towards Predator. I grew up watching these movies. I read all of the books. So for Marvel to release an Alien series, I was most likely going to like it no matter what. I thought the first arc was fantastic. I liked the artwork. I liked the storytelling. In my opinion, it read very much like a movie would have been. This next arc started off very strong. It set the tone early on, but once it progressed a little bit, it just felt extremely repetitive. Maybe the last 4 or 5 issues at this point, it was basically the same thing. Each issue, you know, survivors are kind of getting picked off one by one. They're trying to make it to the next extraction zone, just trying to see if there's other survivors on the planet still. And I thought, you know, do I drop it? Do I get a hardcover? Do I wait for an omnibus for this? What do I do? I picked up the 11th issue, and I was a real big fan of it. It started off the exact same way, just slow. It's like, all right, here we go again. It's going to be the exact same thing. Now it's like, yes, I probably will end up dropping this. However, once we hit kind of the middle, maybe pushing towards the end, maybe the aliens aren't the only problem on this planet right now. We've got those synthetic human beings, and they're thinking, you know, the aliens aren't the problem. It's you humans. You're the problem. So this is going to be a huge spoiler. The synthetic humans are actually the ones that started killing off the other human beings at the other extraction zones. I'm hooked on it. I'm really excited to see how they survive this, where they go with this. Definitely check it out. Let me know what you think about this one down below. But for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 6, Alien issue number 11. And now we're down to the top 5 issues of the week. And super quick before I get started off on this 5th issue, if you are enjoying the video so far, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help out. So getting started on this 5th issue, we've got coming in at number 5. We have AWA Upshots Hotel Volume 2, issue number 5. This is cover A, and this is also the series finale. Now, I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with this issue because obviously it basically just wrapped everything up from the last 4 issues. My opinion, I thought it was very good. I did like the first volume a lot more than the second one, though. To me, the first volume, each issue felt very different. It was building up a specific character, and then as the other issues progressed the story, you got to see kind of the other side of a different issue. I loved it. And then the 5th issue really tied it all together. This one kind of did something similar, but at the same time very different. It followed the same plot line. We had the biker gang, and then they invaded the hotel. And that's been the build-up this entire time. Yeah, some other really cool stuff happened as well, but to me, that was the main plot. Definitely check it out. Like I said, I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it because that was the whole 5th issue. They just summed it all up. The biker gang got what they deserved. I don't want to spoil anything other than that. AWA, always phenomenal stuff. John Lee's fantastic writer as well. Give his stuff a try too. But for those reasons, we've got Hotel issue number 5 coming in at number 5. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 4. This is Boom Studios. Something is Killing the Children, issue number 22. This is cover A. You guys know, hands down, this is my favorite ongoing series right now. James Tynion IV is absolutely killing it on this one, no pun intended. This issue picks up directly where the last one left off. I really like what they're doing with it. I don't feel too attached to these characters yet, though. I want a lot more info with them. Our new little girl that just got introduced to the story in the last issue seems very badass. She definitely has an attitude. I'm not sure what they're going to be doing with her because as this issue stands, the focus kind of reshifted back to Erica. I really like that they both kind of met up, but the main kicker in this issue that made me put it in at number 4 where I thought, yes, this is where we're going with the story. I'm so pumped. So obviously we have the little girl. We have that there's, killings going on. There's monsters in this area. The police don't really know what to do, and neither do the other adults. Obviously Erica is there with her, but Another house just got involved. We don't know who they are, what they're all about. They do seem crazy just on the few panels that they were in. This is going to be a spoiler. Their whole thing now is just, oh, so we got the word. Who do we need to find? Who do we need to kill? Oh, it's an Erica slaughter. Well, let's get right on that. So now we have a couple different plot points going on. I'm hooked on the series. I'm so excited to see where they go with it. But for those reasons, we got Something Is Killing the Children, issue number 22, coming in at number 4. And now we're down to the final 3 issues of the week we've got coming in at number 3 this week. This is AWA's The Fourth Man, issue number 4. This is cover A. This is also the series finale. I thought it was a fantastic series. I really liked what they did with it. The artwork, the storytelling, and how they wrapped everything up. I thought it was just overall a great read. Definitely check it out. If you don't want to find the back issues, wait for a trade paperback. My opinion, though, I'm going to complain about the same thing that I complain about every AWA title. I just need more issues. This one, in my opinion, would have 100% benefited from just one more issue, just kind of, because they left us on a little bit of a cliffhanger. So if they could have left this on the cliffhanger, wrapped everything up in the next one, I thought that would have been perfect and just fantastic. But I love what they did with it. I still highly recommend it. Not going to be getting too in-depth with it. So just the overall basis of the story is that there's just a slew of murders going on in this town. And each issue is just showing in the beginning just, all right, well, who's our dead guy? And they say his name, and it's just kind of the story of how that person died. And in this one, wrapped everything up. They showed exactly what happened. I thought it was fantastic. Definitely check it out. But for those reasons, we've got AWA's The Fourth Man, issue number 4, coming in at number 3. Down to our final 2 issues we've got coming in at number 2 this week. This is Images, New Burn, issue number 6. This is cover A. This is hands down my favorite issue of the series so far, and it didn't even have to do with New Burn. I think he showed up in maybe one panel, but the entire issue it shifted a couple years, but it focused on one of the characters that's working for the police right now, and it kind of just showed her upbringing. I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't gotten into this series at all, and I think that's going to give away a little bit. To me, this is a series you absolutely need to pick up. You can binge it all in one sitting. These issues don't take a long time to read, but they do an incredible job with the story, and I love the artwork as well. This one, so our main focus is kind of on 2 characters. They're showing their relationship throughout the years, through the police academy, and then all that stuff. Something major happens, and those 2 are involved with it. And that's why I said I don't really want to spoil it. It's going to give the entire thing away, and that's what's going to spoil the ending as well. But something happens between both of them, and they cover it up. And then as the years go by, the one cop got into a little bit of trouble, and now I think he's going to be using that to his advantage. Oh, I'm so excited for it. I can't wait to see where they go with it. I hope I didn't spoil too much for you guys. Let's talk about this one down low a lot more. But for those reasons, we've got New Burn, issue number 6, coming in at number 2. And here we go, everybody. My top read of the week. We've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is Images, Ghost Cage, issue number 2. This is cover A. This was another top-notch issue. I absolutely loved it. From the artwork, just the visuals, the storytelling. Every time I flipped the page in this one, I just needed another page. And when I hit the final page of the issue, I thought, I need another issue right off the bat. But that's also my problem with this series. I got to the final page and it said issue number 3, like the final issue released whenever it's coming out. I didn't realize this was only going to be a 3-issue miniseries. I thought this was going to be like a nice long ongoing, and they definitely could have made this one into an ongoing. But knowing that we only have one more issue left, that makes me like what they did so much more. It's a nice oversized issue. I think the price tag was $5.99 on it, and each issue just felt so complete. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it, but just, you know, the visuals, just kind of the little comedic relief that's in it as well, but still a lot of seriousness. There's a lot of plot development and just action in this series right now. We've got our main character. She's still trying to make it up this whole tower while it's still in the process of being destroyed. There's a ton of monsters in it. And she's coming to the realization that who she's working for might actually be the bad people. That's all I want to spoil. You gotta read it. I don't know what it is about this series. It's just really sticking with me. I'm a huge fan of it. Let's talk about this one a lot more down low. I'm sorry I didn't get too in depth with it, but we absolutely have coming in at number 1 this week, Ghost Cage, issue number 2. So what do you guys think about this week's New Comic Book Day? Such a massive week. A lot of those books had a higher price tag on them, and I'm going to be quite honest, I really wasn't a huge fan of a lot of those books. Some of the ones more towards the top 5, I thought they were fantastic, but I picked up 14 issues. I didn't read TMNT's The Last Ronin just yet, but the rest of them, I just thought they were okay for the most part. I want to hear your opinions on this one down low. Like I said before, I'm sorry I didn't get more in depth with Ghost Cage. It's an experience you need to read for yourself, and I try not to spoil things even more than I already do, but let's talk about some of those books a lot more down low. And thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, be sure to hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new content. You won't regret it. I've got 2 more videos sitting off to the side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.